Testing, testing. Testing. Audio testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing. Alright, so as far as I can tell, the stream is working. 1 minute in. First time on YouTube streaming, so that was a fun little setup. Although I think I just ran into an issue. And they said it would be easy to run your tablet as an extra monitor. Come on. Connected display off. I sincerely doubt that. The fun part of working out all the bugs. Oh, am I getting something here? Give me just a second to get situated. Oh, we don't want that. Alright, so now it's working. Okay, do I have... I think it's working. Alright. Well, there's one way to find out. Let's play a game. Alright, so it's been a long time since I have either streamed or made a video. And I figure with social distancing now the in thing, why not spend some time home alone and playing a game. Right now I've been playing 3 games. Doom Eternal, Fallout 76, and Call of Duty Warzone. All really great games. I would have to say, though, a little disappointed to hear that Fallout 76's Wastelanders DLC is going to be about 7 more days late. Which means I'm going to have to go to my boss and be like, hey, you know how I wanted the 7th off? Can I have the 14th off instead? So, going to have to get that rearranged. But I've been playing the pre-test server. A lot of good things. So can't wait to share all of those with you. Thanks to a non-disclosure agreement, I can't share any of that with you. But we'll just have to wait an additional week for that. I have to figure out why my computer screen's being weird. But I figured since the main topic was Fallout 76, that's the game that we'd start with tonight. And I'm sure all of my subscribers that have stuck with me this far are waiting for me to play Neverwinter. Well, seeing as how it's still having its ups and downs, and what game doesn't, that's true. Baldur's Gate in development, the Magic the Gathering MMO, which may or may not be an MMO. I'll have to look more into it. I just don't know. It seems like even with all the instability that people talk about with Fallout 76, it's more stable than a lot of MMOs. So I've just kind of stuck with this one a bit. But I've been messing around with this for quite a bit. Let me know if the game audio or anything's too high. To me it seems fine. I ran a couple tests. Shouldn't be a big problem. More concerned about my mic volume, if anything. But as you can see, I can pretty much just stand around, not really take damage, and you're like, why are you even playing this? Is it even any fun? Yeah. I think when you get far enough into any game, you have to look at challenging yourself a bit more. So I'll usually spend time making different types of builds and things. And I'll start going into those a bit more when Wastelanders comes out. Because right now, the player base in Fallout 76, for the most part, is filled with a lot of players that have been around since beta or have been playing enough at this point that the majority of people would probably be what's considered elite players. So me trying to talk to elite players, even if I'm considered on that level, kind of seems like a waste of time. That, and there's probably people that know a lot more about this game than I do. I'm probably way more suited on helping newer players, and once Wastelanders comes out, there should be a huge influx of new players coming in. So I'll be there to help them, and then anyone else who streams or anything that's also elite, way better than me, can take over. I'll just always be there to help the new guy. I haven't streamed in so long, it's kind of weird.
So stupid. So weak.
These super mutants are always talking crap. I don't know what their deal is. You'd think once you've played a game over thousands of hours, they would have some kind of AI that would make them run away from you, or at least just stop talking smack. It's like, you know I'm gonna kill you. Why do you pursue me? There's no point. And I actually don't know how YouTube streaming works, so if you can comment on a video, like if this is sitting, I really don't know. I'm a Twitch streamer, but I've come to the realization that with a lot of people leaving Twitch and going to Mixer, honestly, even if YouTube gaming for streaming is not that big right now, they're probably going to end up being the most stable out of any of them. And who doesn't already have the YouTube app on their phone? And I think my secondary monitor died again. So far, I would not recommend the application Space Desk for using your tablet as a secondary monitor, because it seems very inconsistent at this point. Was one of those a legendary? Hey, calm down. I'll get to you in a second, alright? Keep shooting at me. Fine, I'll just kill you right now. Get over here. You're annoying me. Alright, and you have a friend down here, don't you? Yeah. Right now I'm experiencing some input lag. So aside from my secondary monitor not working, my primary one is having fits too. Why does that keep shutting down? Wake up. Well, it seems to be on, it's just not working. What's your deal here? Yeah, gotcha. Connected display off. Yet it says display connected. Okay, so we got that. Well, this is why you have test streams, to try and get this stuff working. Alright, so we got that. Okay. Try this again. A little bit of input lag. I might just have to buy a second monitor at this point. Let's see. I don't know if we'll be able to do any boss fights tonight. Playing Doom Eternal is definitely going to be interesting with this input lag. I'm using a program called Streamlabs, and it's never been. It doesn't feel very optimized, and maybe my computer's just not powerful enough. But it almost seems like the Elgato screen capture software itself, although very basic, seems to, I don't know, seems to be a lot smoother. It was a little different at one point. I actually had my Xbox connected to my TV, and then Elgato ran into the PC, which allowed, you know, no screen latency issues. But now I'm trying to run everything off of my one desktop computer, and it might just not be powerful enough. And I may just have to tweak some settings, so we'll look into it. But yeah, as I went off on a weird tangent and my train of thought completely derailed, if it does allow you to post comments on this video, or it even displays the video on YouTube later, and I'll watch the video again myself, but I would definitely appreciate your feedback on audio, video quality, you know, what kind of games do you want to see played. I kind of think that there really needs to be a few more Fallout 76 streamers out there personally, just because more times than not, it's just a slew of videos bashing Bethesda and not really talking about the game itself unless there's something wrong. You never really see much about anything positive about the game. I won't call out any other YouTubers, but there was a couple of them that I would watch because, you know, it seemed like they were really into the game. Maybe they got burnt out on it, or maybe they just noticed that they got more views when talking bad about the game as opposed to positive things about it. And really, that just paints not just 76, but a lot of other games in a bad way. Wow, long time. Hi there. Hey, how's it going? I don't know if I'm going to know any names or anything. It actually is probably going to be different from when I was streaming on Twitch or anything, so. But yeah, dusted off the gaming systems and everything and the streaming equipment, and now I'm back at it. Got to get used to playing while streaming again. And, you know, there's a lot of good titles. I definitely want to get this all put together because I'm going to be doing live streaming with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Audio is good, but quality not for YouTube streaming. There's even 1080 sometimes looks weird. Okay, so the audio is good, but the video is lacking. Well, I don't have mine set to 1080 as far as I know. I think I still have my default settings from streaming on Twitch. I also may have, and I'd have to take a look here, I may have some settings going at too high a bit rate. Although I did increase the quality of my internet connection through my ISP, so it shouldn't be too bad. And I think my tablet / secondary monitor just crashed again. Lovely. Alright, so we're going to have to figure out, we're going to go back to old school. Yes. End this program. Get rid of the secondary monitor, or pretty much not a secondary monitor at this point because it keeps crashing. And we'll just have to switch in between the chat and the game. Who knows, maybe that'll fix my latency issue as well. Yeah, as far as the quality goes, when I've watched a few YouTube streams, sometimes the quality does seem a bit off when it comes to video. But there's other times when I've watched other people and it seems fine. So maybe it's just has to do with my settings. Probably stay away from 1080 if possible. And to be fair, a lot of people anymore are watching from a 10-inch tablet or maybe a 6-inch phone. So 720p is going to be more than enough. And also with my plans for the channel, video is not going to be as big of a concern. Yes, I'll still be doing a lot of things with video games for people to watch, but um, I may be changing the name of the channel, or even like just starting a whole new channel, because I want to do a lot more than just games. Ooh, someone bought something from me. It seems I still have a latency issue, but I don't know. See, when you limit yourself to just video games, you also run into an issue about it just being about the games, and or if you start branching into like video games journalism, you have to shy away from certain topics that maybe you'd want to discuss. So a lot of streamers will automatically have to not talk about politics or world events. Like, for instance, if I wanted to post things about current events, I would have to use certain keywords, and you can't talk about certain things 5 minutes into a video. It's just a whole mess. Like, I love YouTube. I spend a majority of my internet consumption on YouTube, but the way that they moderate things and stuff is just kind of. At one point, I wanted to do an IRL channel on Twitch, but it just seems like after a few of the key gamers left, Twitch is not the same. Mixer, I don't think, is as good. That's my own personal opinion. I guess I'd have to watch the trends, but it just seems like YouTube streaming, because it's YouTube, because it's Google, just seems like it would be stable. It's not as good, but it's like always going to be there. I don't want to feel like I'm settling or anything, but stability is nice. But I'm doing a lot of talking and troubleshooting and not enough video game playing, and it looked like someone bought pretty much all of my steel, and I even forgot what I was doing here, which was to look at this person's vending machines and buy something off them. Although I swear I was at this camp earlier. Not today, maybe yesterday? Looks familiar. Sometimes they all end up looking the same to me. I'll have to do a camp tour. I just finished a new camp build. I actually posted it on Facebook. Oh, and by the way, Facebook at this point, I'm only using it to share camps and buy and sell items in the game. I'm not using it for my YouTube channel or Twitch streams or anything like that. I've kind of just given up on social media. I don't know. I don't know if it's lazy or just that I'm growing into my comfortability as a content creator to not really care as much. I mean, I would spend hours just making sure everything was perfect. I'd go through and make, special videos and put, I mean, I wasn't the best editor in the world, but I would put a lot of my own time into it, editing. And that person had nothing good for sale at their camp. And I would be happy with the work, and I'd always get good positive feedback, but it would just seem like I was spending more time editing the videos than actually enjoying the creation of the content or sharing ideas with people. I don't want to worry too much about what something looks like, and just more of what I'm trying to convey. It doesn't have to be shiny and sparkly and just be like a piece of eye candy or anything. I want good quality content, and I want to be able to have more time instead of editing to connect with people through the channel, not so much through social media, but through comment sections, polls, things like that, just to make sure that I'm getting everyone's feedback, because I want to talk about different topics. I don't want to talk about, like, if I want to talk about Fallout 76, for instance, it might not even be anything like emotional or hard-hitting news or anything like that. It's going to be like, what are your favorite build ideas? What, how much time do you have in the wasteland? Just talking about the games and enjoying the games, not bashing the games, bashing the creators. It's I know you'll never get rid of negativity on the internet, but it doesn't mean that I have to produce and post negativity. I can go about things a different way. Because I can't even remember, it was a couple months back, but everybody was so hung up on bashing, since we're on the topic of 76, bashing Bethesda, bashing Pete Hines and Todd Howard, and whatever mistakes they made. This is honestly a good game. And it bothers me that, nasty tasting rum or a goofy looking jacket, people not getting their canvas bags, broken promises by the developers, tends to be all you see in the media, but there's not enough people talking about, the actual amount of content and fun things that you can do in the game. Like, they think it's about the politics and the business side of things instead of, this is a game, this is meant for entertainment, this is meant for fun. Why waste your time just being angry? Just enjoy the game. I've tried to do that with just about every game that I play anymore, because I used to play a lot of first-person shooters, like a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Battlefield, even at one point a lot of CSGO. And I would just rage. I would get angry. It's like if I wasn't in the top 3, I would just want to snap my controller or throw my keyboard across the room, that kind of thing. And I just started, it was tiring. And that's kind of stuck with me over the years. And I've just slowly grown to the point, and I don't know if it's because of age and maturity or just experience, but it gives you a sense of clarity and like, these are games. This is something to take you away from the monotony of work or anything awful in your personal life, and throw yourself into a fantasy world. Why would you want to be angry in your fantasy world? It's so much work to be angry. It's just easier to just, forget all about it. Like, I've tried to stay away from Twitter. I've tried to stay away from those couple YouTube channels that I've talked about, because I don't want to be a part of that negativity in any way. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the game is. They're always... And I'm sorry if there's any delay in my responses, because I have to switch back from screen to screen on my computer here. But yeah, that's with any game. It seems like... And that's what you'll see in the comments is, oh, this is a dead game. Why are you playing a dead game? And it was that way after the first couple mods in Neverwinter. It was that way, for Fallout 76. It doesn't matter what game it is. That's all. Why are you all still playing a dead game? It's a crap game. Why are you playing it? And it's just like, are there no good games out there that the people complaining about this game, that they don't have the time or want to bother to go play that good game? They just want to bash other people playing a different game? I don't know. It seems very confusing to me. It just comes down to, it's a lot of work to be angry. It's easy to be angry, for sure, but it expels a lot of energy being that way. Where am I here? Oh. I've only played this game for 1,688 hours? I thought I played it a lot more than that. I thought I was pushing closer to 2,000. What is that? 1,688, right? Divided by 60. Or what am I doing? Divided by 24. Ugh. So that's 70 real world days. Wow. And I'm not bored of the game yet. And that alone says something. Now, not everyone can have that same feeling about this game, that's for sure, but I've done a lot in this game. I actually haven't even done a lot of the challenges even yet. So that's a whole nother level of content that I haven't done yet. So this game is far from being a dead game. I think people will rush to complete certain tasks in a game and then say the game is dead, instead of exploring other things in it, especially when it comes to like an ever-growing MMO. Like, there's people that's probably never touched Nuclear Winter. They're like, oh, battle royales are dumb, I don't want to play it. Well, I hated PUBG. Kinda liked Fortnite. Love Call of Duty Warzone. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I used to be completely addicted to Call of Duty. But it seems like, even for a beta, this Call of Duty Warzone is a very well polished game. I have had no like mechanical issues with it. I've had a couple bits of lag, but to be fair, it was raining here. It could have been weather induced for all I know. So, and I was actually talking to my friend about this today, is that I can't stand battle royale games that much because yes, it's high risk, high reward. You find the best gear, you make it to the end, you get that big win, you feel so excited. But more times than not, unless you're a really good player and you're not going up against other really good players, you're playing for about 20 minutes. You get the best gear and then you get sniped from a mountaintop and then you have to start all over again. And my buddy, he plays a game called Tarkov on PC, and that's essentially what it is. You build up your best gear and you just gotta hope that you don't die. I'm not trying to go into some casual phone chill games, even if I build custom 8-core PC. Yeah, I goes into angry something too easily, and I want to get out of this. That's true. Although it's going to be harder to find a lot of those chill phone games. Once again, like dead day at work, so I'm talking to my friend slash boss. We've gotten to a point now, and it's going to really solidify probably in the next 10, at most 20 years, where gaming, whether it's mobile, console, or PC, is really going to merge. Like, for instance, I wouldn't say I'm an Xbox fanboy, but they have done a lot of amazing things. Like, I could sit at work on my tablet or my phone with an Xbox controller and play my Xbox games from work. And then on that same phone or tablet, switch to what? I don't play it, but like Candy Crush or something, all on the same device. And then like Call of Duty Warzone, for instance, I could play that on my tablet at work, and it would cross play with someone else on PC. It's just, we're getting to the point now where no matter what game you play, you're a gamer. And I think I'm getting shot by a robot, or at least I heard one. No? Okay. And it's going to be so easy to have access to those types of games. It's going to be hard to get away from the aggravating games. But I understand exactly like you say. I'll sometimes download a phone game, and it probably doesn't last on my phone over a month. Are there any games you've currently gotten into? What games are you playing? Those chill ones. Maybe that can be something to help put me in a zen state. I go to my camp and put some more steel in my... yep, all my junk's gone. Alright, gotta refuel that. Make some in-game money. But I haven't really seen too many mobile games that have piqued my interest. The last ones that I were playing were like MMOs, and I just couldn't dedicate myself to really getting into an MMO on my phone, which sounds kind of odd because with if my Xbox was working properly, I'd probably be playing Fallout 76 from my phone. But I don't know, I haven't really found like just a pick up and go kind of game that will hold my interest. I actually used to play Candy Crush and things like that, but I just couldn't. I don't know. I just couldn't stick with it. And I think it's because there's games like this where, because I'm a big Sims junkie. I love The Sims. I haven't really played it much lately because, well, Fallout 76 is, I can build a house and then go kill things. I mean, I had to find some really creative ways to kill Sims, which is fun, but I definitely love Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 for the building mechanics. Fallout 3 in New Vegas, love it for the story and the gameplay, but really loving the building. This competition attitude is really tired. Yeah, just entertaining one. Light gameplay, some story. Oh, cool. Yeah, and it kind of comes with the merger of things. There's still going to be a competition, whether it's through Xbox or PlayStation for exclusives. But, once we have really good fledged out handheld PCs that can play any game that could be on, like, you would log into the PlayStation launcher or the Xbox launcher or Steam launcher, and just play whatever you want on one machine. That's going to help alleviate some of the competition. But of course, when you have competitive games, that's you won't be able to get away from it. There's a lot of people that will kind of act chill when they play games. Like, I don't know how many times I've been playing Call of Duty and some dude would just be like, chill, dude, it's just a game, it's just a game, because I'm maybe having a bad day, not my kill death ratio wasn't good. And then I would just start whooping him. And then he would start getting angry and just be like, it's just a game, bro. It's just a game. Whoa. I don't know if that's my game or my computer. I want to say it was probably the game. Because that sunlight, man, it'll get to you. Like gameplay, some story. Yeah. I don't know. I would almost love to play like Kingdom Hearts 3, but it almost looks more complicated maybe than 1 or 2. Like, if I could just sit there and play it on my phone, I think that would be my light gameplay and some story. Especially like a single player game instead of a multiplayer on mobile, because it'd almost be like going back to having like my Game Boy Advance or something. I had a Nintendo DS for a little while, but I like the idea, and this is why I love playing Doom Eternal, is I can just hit pause. That's what I love about single player games. I love being online and playing MMOs, but having the ability to be right in the middle of something and hit pause, or to just hit save, quit, maybe not come back to it, and nothing's changed. When you're playing in an MMO, new content come out right away and everybody else is ahead of you somehow, or they're getting to experience the content before you. Doom, I love it. I got to a certain point. Oh, time to go to work. Pause, shut down, save. Haven't played it in a couple days, and I've been playing Fallout. I've been playing Call of Duty Warzone. But then when I go back to Doom, right where I left off. And that's what I love about those types of games. So that's why I loved, games like Kingdom Hearts or Sims or anything. That single player thing where I can be in this amazing adventure 1 minute, and then if I need to go do something, I can just pause it, save it, come right back to the action later. This, I have to make sure before I go to bed that I have my vending machine stocked with steel scrap, so that way I can sell it as soon as I log in. Just like I just did, and now have to refill, and then I can go back to the game. Which sounds tedious, but I actually enjoy the economy for the most part. Pay no attention to my stocking up on toilet paper. I swear I didn't steal it from anyone. Let's see here. And they say it's hard to make money in this game. I just go and kill things, take their guns, scrap the guns, and then put it in there. That's 1,000 caps right there. Easy. Didn't have to do anything. Just killed things as normal. Actually, I probably have some scrap in here. Oh, whatever shop tier took the scrap out of my machine. People are like, why don't you lock it? It's too much work. One with I had fun a few months ago is of Orcs and Men. Wow, it was pure pleasure. Orcs and Men, huh? I haven't looked into that. Is that like an RPG or? I just thought I'd Google some images at least of it. It looks cool. When did it come out? Is it an older title? I want to say it sounds familiar, but it may be like 10 years familiar. Oh, okay. That might be interesting. Yeah, I will actually bookmark that. Because even though I'm already playing 3 games right now and they take up most of my gaming time, I still like the idea of checking out different things. Heck, I'd love to just, boot up, like, well, heck, I could probably do it through Game Pass, just start playing Morrowind. Yeah, old one, like Xbox 360. Original for PlayStation, then it comes to PC. Oh, okay. So you a big PC player or mostly console? I've been trying to branch out, playing a little bit more PC stuff. Still can't get used to the mouse and keyboard thing. Although I did see something really cool about a month back, where it's you've got a mouse and it connects to like half of a controller. So you got your analog stick or D-pad and a few like trigger buttons, and then you've got your mouse. So you don't even have a keyboard. So you couldn't do anything like intensive like Tarkov or something, but that would be kind of cool for playing GTA or something. Emulation of PS2. Well, that's definitely the thing to emulate. And I do not know where this screw came from. Did I just have a screw fall out of my tablet? That's scary. I don't know how that happens. I have no clue where this screw came from, but I'm worried that a wheel's gonna fall off somewhere. Hopefully, putting that there, I'll remember it. Well, one thing I was talking about with my friend is, especially with the Xbox X series that's coming out this fall, he might even pick that up. It's getting so much like a PC anymore. It's kind of ridiculous. And of course, being Microsoft, if you're using Windows 10, then you can switch back and forth, which I think is really cool. So, for instance, if I was a big PC gamer and I play usually PC exclusive titles, but I'd rather sit on my couch and play on the big screen and don't want to use like an extensive streaming service or third party software, I could easily just play that game. Like I could grab an Xbox controller, which a lot of people have owning a PC anyways, and just go sit in the living room and play on the big screen like GTA or something. So it's just really nice to, have that flexibility. And it's getting to that point anymore that, like my friend and I were talking, that no one's going to buy a console in 10 to 20 years. They're going to buy a PC and they're going to log in to Xbox or PlayStation. It's just going to be like all the multitude of gaming services that are out there right now. And that's where you'll get your exclusive titles. Like, you could still buy peripherals from Sony. So if you like the tiny controllers from Sony, go for it. If you like the bigger controllers from Microsoft, go for it. If you like the controller from the Ouya, well, then you have a problem. But you know what I'm getting at. So it's going to be more customizable. And yeah, you could get Tomb Raider 18 and it'll play at 60 frames per second for 1080 on a $500 gaming PC. The same price as a console. But then if you get a $2,000 PC, you're going to be able to run it at ultra settings at 130 FPS or higher. So it's going to be really interesting the next decade or two where things are going, especially now that Sony seems to be playing a little bit more ball than they used to. They really were completely against crossplay, and now they're finally getting into it. So we're going to see everyone essentially joining the PC master race. I mean, they may be paying a minimum of $500 for their rig, but everyone's going to end up being on the same platform, different peripherals, and different game launchers. And I think that's going to be really amazing, especially considering Fallout 76 is actually bringing this out, which I wish Neverwinter did. Oh, I wish Neverwinter did. Where you can take your character from Xbox and put it over to PC. If I could have Xbox controller support and move my Neverwinter character from Xbox to PC, so essentially nothing would change for me, but I would have access to the pre-test servers and everything and just have one game machine, I would go back to Neverwinter in a heartbeat. I have always wanted to port my character from Xbox because that's what, half a decade and probably thousands of dollars over time put into that character, that unless I play it on Xbox, that's the only way I'll be able to play with that character. And so when Fallout announced that you could move your Xbox character over to PC and you'd be missing some stuff, but in essence, all that hard work you put in, you don't lose that. That's awesome. More games need to do that. Like, even if they charge a fee or there's stipulations, like you can only move back and forth like once a year or something, that would be amazing. That would be able to allow people to branch out really big into things. And the Xbox X Series having better keyboard and mouse support, that's a good step forward. It's going to be awesome. Do you think you'll ever get into consoles, or are you just going to stay with PC and then wait for being able to play Last of Us 6 on there or something? I bought some China PS4 Lite controller and try some console titles for PS2, 3, which comes later to PC and Xbox as well. Such a great experience, super comfort. That's really cool. Yeah, the PS4 controller, I can't hold it. Like, it makes my hands cramp up like playing on a Nintendo Entertainment System controller. But yeah, and that's the other thing too. I would play a Sony PlayStation if they had a really good clone of an Xbox One controller. There is at least one or two out there, but they're really janky. The controller makes a big difference for me. Yeah, and that's the thing too. So anymore, exclusive's not really exclusive. Exclusive maybe is for a few weeks, and then it'll come to PC, or it'll, like, I think Kingdom Hearts 3, I think, even came out for like a week or two exclusive on Xbox, and then Sony got it, which was really surprising to me because Sony and Square Enix are supposed to be like, this, and when I say this, I've got my fingers crossed, like they were together. So that was kind of shocking. And that's probably what we're going to see is, like, if you log into the PlayStation launcher, you're going to be able to play God of War, but you'll have to have a PSN account. But if you wanted to play Gears of War, then you'll have to have your Xbox account. PS2, though, oh man, I loved PS2. That was my favorite console, and everybody's favorite console, honestly. There's just so many good games for it. Like, I had a PS2, I think even after PS3 had came out, and I wasn't even interested in getting a PS3. I'd end up, I had the original PlayStation 2, the really big one, and it lasted up up until a little after the PS3 came out. So kudos to that thing, that big old monster. I say that in front of my giant Xbox here. I even ended up getting one of those silver, almost chrome-like PlayStation 2 Slims. That thing was tiny. I think it was about the same size as my 10-inch tablet and its keyboard case. I loved that little thing. That thing was cool. It took up no space on the entertainment stand. By the way, Megiddo, it goes a little deep in all this tech stuff, and they said it really can happen. You can play all through PC. Yeah. It I mean, of course, like, with emulation, virtual machines, things like that, it's really nice. Like, I did that for the longest time. I was a huge PC gamer up until, I mean, I still had consoles, but I was strictly PC until I think Xbox 360. And I had tons of emulation and everything, because I even still ran some games through command prompt because they were DOS games, like original Duke Nukem and stuff. But now we've gotten to a point where people have hacked Nintendo Switches, and you can put Android, you can put emulators, you can put Xbox Game Pass and xCloud on a Nintendo Switch. It's freaking amazing. Like, everything now, like phones, tablets, switches, whatever, are so computer-like that you can do those things that you used to be able to only do on PC, now on portable gaming electronics too. And so that's why I'm thinking it's just all merging together at one point. It's just going to be so amazing. Like, if it wasn't for it being hacky and not supported, I would buy a Nintendo Switch right now. I'd get rid of my tablet and just have a Switch. Oh, yeah. Xbox, ever since they had a Fallout, playing Fallout, talking about Fallout, actually not even playing Fallout, standing here talking, when they had that Fallout E3 with their announcement with, no backwards compatibility and everything, they were slammed so bad online and getting beat by Sony so bad that they started really, like, looking towards the future and listening. See, there goes my steel scrap again. And listening to the consumers. And look at all of they have established now. Like, just pushing for the cross-play format. And, Xbox Game Pass, I love it. Like, going to the game store or browsing through the library, paying $60 or even 20 if something's on sale. It seems lazy, but it was almost kind of tedious. But now it's like, I have Game Pass. That game looks cool. Click, I'm playing it. Oh, I want to play that game on my tablet at work because it's dead at work. I can do that. It's just amazing the things you can do. And it just goes to show that Microsoft as a company, I mean, yes, you can play a lot of PC games over Linux, but there's not near as much support as playing on Windows 10. You got Windows 10, you've got your Xbox, and they just move fluidly between each other. It's just, like, I've got, Game Pass Ultimate. So I could turn off my Xbox right now, which is what I'm playing on, and then just play it on PC. It's like, oh, the graphics on my Xbox One aren't good enough, so I want my NVIDIA GTX to just blow it out of the water. Okay, let's do that. It's just, I love that versatility. And my character's dying of thirst because I'm not paying attention. The things I put my character through. I need to go to someone's camp and steal some of their purified water. I'm running out. Ooh, Blamco mac and cheese? Yes, please. Oh, no. I don't want to repair that. So what kind of games do you play on your PC? Go over here. Gotta fill up my shelf. Got that Blamco mac and cheese. Let's do some decorating. Hey, I don't like that. Who would put it that way in there? This isn't a cabinet. This is a display shelf. Alright, we're not doing that. Sugar bombs go sideways, the right way, but Blamco mac and cheese goes the wrong way. We can't have that. Get out of there. Well, I think I've only got 1,000 steel scrap left. I'm gonna have to go kill some things. Right now, so I can watch the chat, I'm playing on like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, like a 4x6 display. I just need to buy a second monitor and call it good. All right, let's put some steel scrap in here so we can sell it. I'll just take all of it, and then we'll go kill some things and get some more. Wow, it's already almost 10. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm in love with RPG, any kind of, especially if it has classic roles and gameplay. Okay, so like, so any kind of RPG, or like when you say classic, do you mean more like Dungeons and Dragons style RPG? Like, I mean, even more so, like, are you interested in the new Baldur's Gate game that's coming out? Because that looks freaking amazing. I'm sad that it's not online, but I don't think it would be near as amazing as if they had put it online. But I love the Baldur's Gate game, so I'm really excited for that one to come out. But I also like, you know, just tabletop D&D. So, I don't know. That's one thing I want to get back into. Well, it was my first. Oh, okay. That's actually a good game to make it your first. It wasn't too hard. It did have some complexity, you know. And I did say did. I haven't played with this new system, but I hear it's a lot simpler. But when you compare it to the old Dungeons and Dragons Online, it's a lot simpler. But of course, D&D Online was like essentially trying to take tabletop D&D and spit it onto a PC. There you go. Almost forgot what I was doing. Then Morrowind, Miss Mare, all that gold age. Yeah, Morrowind was nice. And oddly enough, I never got into Oblivion or Skyrim or anything. And I think that's because it's too big into Fallout. There was even a game that my brother and I used to play a lot of, aside from the Xbox Dungeons and Dragons, which was... It kept us entertained, I guess. But it was called Champions of Norath, and Champions of Norath Return to Arms. And it was like a co-op. It was a co-op kind of Baldur's Gate game. That was a lot of fun. And then I think after that, I got into Morrowind. But I'm trying to think of the first RPG, like fantasy RPG that I played, that actually is within the same realm of this. I wouldn't count like Zork or something. But like closest D&D-esque RPG. Wow. I don't know. I think that might Might have been Baldur's Gate. Or maybe I just don't have my time frame, that realm of thinking correct. I don't think I've heard of Mistmare, but I don't think I played that. Let me bust out the handy Google to refresh my memory. I may have played that. I mean, of course I played WoW. I mean, I think everybody's just... Well, the cover looks familiar. 2003. I think I've seen the cover, but I don't think I played it. Whew. A 33% on Metacritic and a 1.7 on GameSpot. Is it like the equivalent of a B film? Like it's highly underrated, but it's actually really good. I love the conversation. I got the steel in there, but I need to action it up a bit here. Although I think you're my only viewer at this point, so I appreciate you hanging out. I didn't announce this or anything. It's mostly just to test the audio and video. But based on what you said, I'll probably change the bit rate a bit to fit within YouTube's things. And that should be all right. And you can dual stream too, so when I actually do a full-fledged stream, I'll probably might as well create a Mixer account. I bet I could stream to all three at once. I wonder how taxing that is. That'd be interesting. I'll have to look into it. Alright, gonna take out these dogs here. I'm probably gonna catch a disease. Come on. Alright, I need to get out of first person here. There we go, now I can see. It's a miracle. I'm actually surprised with you wanting to get into PlayStation and stuff like that. You haven't even touched on like JRPGs. Those are interesting little things. What was it? There was one. Was it Corpse Party? That was interesting. But now that I am at my tent here, I'm going to have my character take a nap, get that nice little XP boost, and while it's doing that, if you don't mind hanging out for a minute, I have to take a quick break. There won't be any cool signage that pops up or anything because I don't have that all tweaked out for YouTube yet. Yeah, Icewind Dale. Prince of Persia. Ooh, Onimusha. We'll definitely talk about some Onimusha when I get back. Just a moment. Alright, I'm back. Let's see. JRPG is a bit hard for me. Rogue is my nature. If you have no some tavern, dark lock, using stealth, disarm traps, picking locks, and backstabbing bad guys, it's all loose. Yeah, I feel ya. I usually play a stealth character or rogue in anything. Like, even my tabletop RPGs, I'm always a rogue. Maybe like rogue. I was looking at a rogue like half wizard at one point, but I don't know how that's gonna work out. But yeah, JRPG is a bit hard. What's nice though is that there's a lot of people, because it's such an easy platform to make. There's some interesting ones out there. But yeah, if you want the action, picking locks and backstabbing bad guys, yeah, you're definitely gonna have to pick something a little more 3D or at least imaginative, like tabletop, to get into it. But yeah, Onimusha. Okay, love that. My brother and I were so addicted to that growing up. I can't remember. I want to say it was Onimusha 2 was the one where you're like time traveling and you split levels. I think that was 2. I like that, where you'd make one change in the past and then you'd go back to the future, like just remembering like you would plant a vine in the past, like a little plant in the past, and then you go into the future and it's a giant vine that you can climb. That was really cool. Demon Siege wasn't bad. I think that had Jean Reno in it. That was cool. Onimusha Dawn of Dreams. I think that was the last one of that style. Like, they had some other Onimusha stuff, but it wasn't the same. That one was really cool. The one thing I remember about that was when you first started playing Dawn of Dreams, you played as like your end game self, like you were just a badass, and then they ended up like, oh no, that's just like, like a movie, like you're seeing the end of the movie and it's like, nope, yeah, you're starting from scratch here. It's like, fine, I guess. But no, Onimusha games are great. They had talked about making another one and they didn't, and I was really disappointed. I hope they do decide to make another one in the future. I played, I think, a couple of the Prince of Persia titles, but didn't really get into it. But I'm trying to think. I don't even remember the last Prince of Persia game that I played, to be honest. I don't know. I like my character here in Fallout 76, before I've been trying out this different build, was just stealth melee, stabby, hiding in the dark. Like I could technically throw it back into that build easy, but I've just been trying out different weird stuff. Like, nobody really uses these buzz blades. I think they're kind of fun. But yeah, I just had a little dagger, stabby, fun. Oh, I got spotted. So much for being a stealth character, huh? Come here. Vampiric mode. There we go. Hey, ow. See, this is why I like stealth characters. I don't like getting hit. Man, I tipped them all off. Come here. By the way, some hack and slash crazy with Severance, Blade of Darkness. Thanks. You have an endgame character when you can read and play at the same time. I'd say with hack and slash, the only thing I really got into that where it wasn't really like in-depth character creation or anything like that would be massive brain fart here. Dynasty Warriors. I loved that game. You want to talk about hack and slash and not having to think about anything. And you just be like, oh, there's Lu Bu. Let's knock him off his horse and just beat him to death with a pole arm. That was always fun. I think they were supposed to make a new one of those. I really liked when I got into Magic the Gathering and found out apparently Dynasty Warriors is a story of like the three kingdoms, and in Magic the Gathering card game there's actually a block of cards, a legendary, a block of cards that you can get that's actually based on the three kingdoms, so you could have a Lu Bu Magic the Gathering card. Like, that's cool. Or like Rune, okay. Executioner's Dagger. Oh, that might be fun. I don't know much about Enclave. Yeah, you're talking about the mechanics. That for me is big, and that's part of the reason why I couldn't come back to Neverwinter, because when they said they rebuilt the entire skill tree, the thing I loved about the Rogue is it was the most complicated class to play for Neverwinter. I mean, if you didn't have your rotation, you were dead. And just and I guess I have to play it to really know how bad I like it or anything or don't like it. But it just scares me that that's what I loved. I loved the like the crafting of the characters and breaking it down as a science. Like, I wasn't even happy with playing as a meta trickster rogue either. Like, I would always have to find something new. Like, even if it wasn't max damage, it would be entertaining, and then I would try and max out the DPS with that, weird build. Because you could do that. There was so many skills to choose from, and then they just dumbed it down, and and that's what tore me away from it. But who knows? Like, I haven't really watched a lot of videos to see how it's been doing. I guess I've almost been afraid to see how it's been doing. But I might have to get over that fear and just jump back in and see how it's going. Because I still have love for that game. But I'm almost afraid that that I'm in love with the past. Because even before they changed, how you played the game, I would still, miss mod 1 and 2, having dungeon delves every hour and things like that. So it was almost like after mod 1 and 2, that honeymoon period was just, you would have your moments of greatness and then it would just kind of disappear. You're more in role-playing now. So, like, legitimate role-playing, like, you are your character, you mean? Like if you're talking in a group chat with people or talking on Discord or something in a live chat, you are your character. That type of role-playing, you mean? Oh, there's someone in my spot. Ooh, a level 580. Yeah, and I guess that's something I could look at too. Is if it is easier to play. Wait, yes, no, maybe, I don't know. But I will say this: whether you're actually RPing or not, that is it is a good point though. It's it's like a light RP, I guess. And either way, though, it's a good point. Like, if the mechanics have been dumbed down and it's been made easier, then you do have a little more freedom of being a role player. Like, you don't have to concentrate as hard about how your character's faring in the game as much as creating the story around your character for the game. So I could see where that would be fun. Because I've actually done that here in Fallout. I actually ended up joining Brotherhood of Steel group, and role playing as, what did I end up after? Because that group got disbanded. I think I was an elder even by the time I got out of there, and it was really fun. Like trying to create missions for people, and you're just role playing the character. That added a whole nother aspect to Fallout 76. So yeah, I could see that, because I do like the role playing aspect, like, and I think that's something that's actually lost on a lot of people too when they play in RPGs. They go in it just for the grind, and get the best end game gear, and a lot of times they'll even that. I don't know if you ever watch it, but I love it. It's by Viva La Dirt League, and they kind of, parody the role playing world and stuff. And like one of my favorite reoccurring themes on that YouTube channel is where when an NPC is talking, they skip. They don't even listen to the story or anything. They just skip, skip, skip. They want to go to the dungeon, get the end game gear. They get all the best gear. They play for a little bit, and then they get bored. And it's like, do you know the story of Neverwinter? Have you listened to the NPCs? Have you read the lore? That's a whole nother aspect to the game. And that's the same way with Fallout, is a lot of people will rush to the end game. And do they listen to the holotapes? Do they read the terminal entries? I mean, yeah, it's not being delivered by an NPC like, it was in other games, but that's, of course, going to change with Wastelanders. But the story is a huge part of a role-playing game, and to just completely bypass that, it's a waste. That's a lot of content you're missing out of. So when you say a game doesn't have content, have you explored all the actual content? Like, it gives you important for your character and unique features you can do only with that role. Yeah. Like, I actually have, oops, didn't mean to knock that over. I actually have it next to me here. I've got a book here from Sword and Sorcery, The Book of Roguish Luck. And it's a cute little source book, and it's got some good art and stuff in it too. And just like, for instance, like range sneak attacks and things like that, how long your target max range is. Like, so it's got the statistical stuff in it, but it's also got story in it too. And it goes really in depth about a roguish character. So it's really nice. Like, so just a little part of the back. The silent footstep, the turn of a card, the glitter of a knife in the dark, and a quiet kill. So I like that kind of stuff. Like, it's... Yeah. Wow. So yeah, aside from like what's already in the game, you can also roleplay your character the way you want. So it's a huge thing. And I did not even check. I heard someone buy something from me, and it was probably all my steel. Yep. I gotta get more steel now. If they're gonna keep buying it up so easily at 1 cap a piece, I'm gonna have to charge them 2 caps. I might be able to make a lot. Ooh, level 413. I've been playing since almost like beta, so 413 is not much. I spend most of my time building camps. That's one thing that I really wanted, and I haven't kept tabs to see if they're doing it. It's cool that you have your personal workshop. It's cool that you have your guild hall. But I want player housing. And when I say player housing, I want Fallout building or Sims building. I want to build the walls. I want like Ark housing. Okay, I want to be a trickster rogue and I want to kill people, steal their gold, buy materials, and either hire a contractor or build it myself. Role-playing wise, I still want to build it myself. I want my own house. Player housing. Like, I love building things. It's one thing to build a character, but it's another thing to build a building. I'm still trying to play as a sneak character, and I do not have a sneak build on right now. That's how ingrained it is in me to play as a rogue. I'm going to try and stealth with a character that has no stealth abilities. And it won't work. Have you ever played like tabletop D&D? Open sesame. Gonna try and sneak this weapon. Nope. I don't even have my sneak perk card on. It's not gonna work. Oh man, they're whipping me. The vampiric weapon is not doing much vampiring. Vampire you. This is why I like stealth builds. I think I'm actually missing a couple perks to have a full-on stealth build. I might tweak that before I switch games. Because I was going to get off at 11. And I've been so into talking and playing 76 that I didn't even get to Doom Eternal or Call of Duty Warzone. I'm a bad streamer. Let's see here. Here we go. I'll get my meat hook out. Switch some perks. Throw on some sneak. I don't think I have all my sneak perks in this build. They don't have loadouts in this game yet. But since I won't be getting hit, I can get rid of that. I can get rid of that. And we are going to go with... Okay, that's cool. Yeah. A lot of the character building is such a huge part. Like, a lot of times when I play D&D, I'll play the same character. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. That's actually really cool when you make your own stuff. Like, it's one thing to, buy a, like, pewter figure and then paint it. But, like, actually making your own characters, that's really cool. But yeah, when it comes to, like, building the character on a character sheet, I usually tend to use the same character. Like, even if I have to start back out as a level 1 or something, I'll use the same character because... One, I already know my character, but maybe I'll give him some different weaknesses and try and explore a different path with him. But a lot of times it can be a lot of extra work if you're just always starting from scratch. Simplifying it's nice. Like, I even like... I actually have the game. Like if you want to play like very simple like RPG kind of stuff like rock paper wizard, those kind of things, that stuff's kind of fun. But they also have simplified rules. Like, I mean, heck, even some people think D&D 5th edition's kind of a bit simplified, but I don't think so. I don't deal well with change. As you can see, I'm not playing Neverwinter right now. But like, there's other like D20 based games that are very simple. Like heck, even just making like your own game. It's like everything's based on D6. Here's like simplified class and abilities, and just find like 5 people to play with or something, you know. Because it's kind of like what you were saying with Neverwinter is, you know, you get into the more role play aspect. Who really cares about the statistics so much? Like it can make for interesting gameplay mechanics between the other people you're playing with, but in the end, it's more about the adventure. And I actually don't think I ever talked about this because I think this happened after I stopped streaming. I've actually, and I'm sure a lot of people do this, so it's nothing great. I'm actually working on making my own MMORPG. And it is first and foremost about the adventure. Like, the closest thing that you have to fast traveling in that game is riding on an airship, riding well, you don't have a horse. I won't go into too many details about the game because I feel if I just talk it up, I won't even keep writing about it. But let's just say that there's no click and you're there. But I'll tell you this much. So like the airship is the fastest way to traverse in this game, and I haven't even built the airship yet in Unreal, in the Unreal Engine yet. But when you're on that airship, you can trade with people, not just NPCs, but with other people. There's crafting systems like benches and sheds and stuff on the airship, so you can continue to craft. You can eat, role play, whatever you want. So you're going to get to your destination faster, but not as fast as just clicking and getting there. But it's still an experience while you go. Like, you can look out the side of the airship and see the entire region you're traversing. So if you just want to stand there and watch the scenery, you can. You want to craft, you want to sell things, you want to talk with other adventurers, get more quests from NPCs, or, you know, listen to stories from NPCs like the lore. There's tons of stuff to do on just the vessel taking you to your next location. So it's not taking you from adventure to adventure. The whole thing's an adventure. And it's like there's no break in that adventure. You know. And I think that's the big thing. Like, my game is specifically made that you can't grind it. There's no daily quest required because the adventure will always have you coming back. You don't have to come back to get daily diamonds or daily coins or anything like that. You're coming back because you want to enjoy the experience. You don't want to go to work. And that will put a lot of people off, especially with the way that MMOs are manufactured today. But you're going to be rewarded for going there because there's always going to be something new. Like, it's procedurally generated. You get quests not only from NPCs but from other players. They can, like, if a player needs wood for their crafting materials and they don't want to go hunt wood because they need to go hunt for iron or something, you're going to be able to put a quest on a bulletin board, and they're going to be able to come take that quest from you, go on adventure, get things for themselves during the adventure, and the reward at the end of that adventure is the wood that they bring to you, and then they get something in return. Don't be afraid, I'll not steal it. Oh yeah. Honestly though, I wouldn't care if someone did. Like, I would love to get all the details written down. Like, Like my journal, my composition book is just a mess. I know where everything is, but if someone else tried to read it, it'd be like they'd need a cipher to decode it. But I would love to put it all on like some form or somewhere online and someone go make it. Because that's how much I love this game. Is like, it's not only that I want this game to exist, for other people to enjoy. I want to enjoy it. I want to play it. So if I ever get that way, yeah, I'll post it on every forum and everything I can. And if some dude with a bunch of money in his pocket likes it and wants to make it, I don't need rights. I don't need royalties. I just want to play it. I'm so sick of, just grinding all the time. I want to play. I want to enjoy the adventure. Like, it's fine to make your own adventure, but like, I don't want to grind. I used to be that way. I didn't mind the grind. That was part of, the game. And then I just had to sit down and ask myself, is this really what games are meant to be? Just grinding all the time? I could go play Minecraft if that's the case, Let's see here. Nerd Rage. Sneak Escape Artist. If we get rid of these and we switch to this might even be overkill. This, and this. And we have our meat hook. And I got to go back up and pay these guys back. Yeah. It becomes like a team effort. Like, I'm actually trying to get in more into learning the ins and outs of the Unreal Engine, because this is such an action-based RPG that I would need it in something like the Unreal Engine. And the Unreal Engine is free. But I can't do it all myself. But see, that's the thing, though. It's like, I think if you have a good idea, you also want to challenge yourself in learning how the system works a bit. Because it would be hard for you to convey. Like, you could put down on paper your good idea, but it would be hard to convey how to put that idea into the game unless you had an idea of the mechanics of the software that's being used to do it. So I'm actually planning on making... It's not necessarily a trailer. It's almost like a gameplay trailer of just a little tiny chunk of the game itself, and then putting that out into the world and see if I can get backing for it. But working with the Unreal Engine, it's kind of easy, but as someone whose computer programming skills were taught back in college, back when C++ was the pinnacle of programming, it's a little bit of a challenge, especially with, working a regular job and stuff. You don't have as much time for it. But I'm actually going to be making a tabletop version, which is a challenge in itself. A tabletop version of this originally created to be a video game layout. And I've almost had to rework the entire thing. I am a man of idea, but not of action, Oh, yeah. No, I feel you. Like, I envy the people that can just throw caution to the wind and say, I'm quitting my job. I know nothing about this, but it seems passionate to me. I'm going to quit my job and just devote all of my time to this. And then there's those that just come out on top. They create something amazing. They go down in history as legends. And there's, of course, people that, fall flat on their face. They lost everything. My logical mind just picks things apart so much to the point that I find it hard to have that kind of spontaneity, or I don't know if I'd say backbone, to just be like, I'm going all in on this. This is something I'm very passionate about, and I'm going to go all in on it. Like, heck, even just streaming or doing YouTube or anything. Like, I'm like, no, my real job comes first. As much as I love playing games, I love talking to people, I love spreading ideas, I have bills to pay. And it's just like, you know, I don't know. I'm not a person that thinks about fate or anything, but I also think that things happen for a reason. You know, maybe I haven't devoted enough time to YouTube because on my slow days at work, I'm in my composition book creating a video game / tabletop game. Look at this stabby stealth. They don't see me coming. They don't hear a thing. They just fall over dead. And heck, look at the outfit of my character. Tell me that's not a post-apocalyptic rogue. It's in my blood. I can't get away from it. But also, the biggest reason I've come back to, oh, I got spotted by a dog. He smelt me. Bastard. Shade away. Oops. It doesn't help when I miss. I need to go to first person. Die. Back into sneak. I don't even know. That dog interrupted me. Have you heard of Monster Den? It's an old web-turn based RPG. I kind of spent a lot of time with it. I don't remember part though. Monster Den. Turn-based. I guess it depends on the time that it came out. Because it's not sticking out to me. Doesn't mean I haven't played it. I just don't remember. But yeah, depending on the time that it came out, depends on what I was into at the time. I always end up switching between RPGs and shooters. Like, I think this is the first time that I'm playing an RPG, because it's also / shooter, and also playing Call of Duty at the same time. I'm dying of thirst again? I think I'm almost out of purified water. I need some food too. Ooh, funnel cake. I could put that in my display. Monster Den. Well, now that I'm not dying of hunger and thirst, I can break out the handy dandy Google here. Monster Den. About 2008, huh? What was I doing in 2008? Oh. Heck, I don't know. When was Gears of War released?
Gears of War's initial release date is November 7th, 2006.
When was Gears of War 2 released?
Gears of War 2's initial release date is November 7th, 2008.
Okay. So, yeah, that explains it. So, in that time period, I was fully devoted to Gears of War. I was in MLG with some friends. We had a clan in MLG where we just, like, tearing it up on Gears of War. So yeah, I probably didn't run across that. They grow to a project and selling on Steam now. Well, I might have to check that out. Actually, since I'm on my computer, let's do a search. Monster Den. Monster Den Godfall, Book of Dread. And there's a collection bundle. That was Cortana talking. Well, Book of Dread is 99 cents. Godfall. Is that a new one? You get the whole Monsters Den collection for $16.12. So I'm guessing that comes with Chronicles. Let's see. Yep, comes with Chronicles, Book of Dread, and Godfall. So you get 15% off. That's kind of cool. I will click Add to Cart and take a look at that guy later. There's certain things I like with turn-based, some things I don't. I love that Final Fantasy VII Remake is not turn-based. And so far, that's not going to be delayed, like Wastelanders. I think tonight it's going to be a Fallout 76 night, because it's already 10:35. I don't know if I have time to jump into another game. Maybe Call of Duty Warzone. Probably not Doom Eternal. But no, I can't wait for Final Fantasy to come out. That was a game I spent a lot of time on, and now to essentially have that same game, not turn-based, with action, better graphics, yes please. First part you can play in web browser is so atmospheric. It's really simple but was interesting. Going deeper and deeper in dungeon, you can choose to go with one character up to 5. Well, that's cool. Dungeons are always my favorite of anything. I think that's part of the reason too why I was a little disappointed in Neverwinter. Like I said, I used to love the dungeon delves. But it's not that Neverwinter doesn't have good dungeons. It's just there's something about hunting down artifacts, heroic encounters, and things like that where I'm in a region. It's just not the same as like going down into a dungeon. Like that's why like RuneScape is still a cool game, because it's procedurally generated. It's just like, to a point, you know what you're getting into with RuneScape if you played it enough. But it's still that idea of like, you're not going to Castle Ravenloft to do the same thing over and over and over. If Castle Ravenloft was in like the game I'm creating, or like RuneScape or something, you could go to Castle Ravenloft, but your path to get to the castle and where you're going in the castle and everything is going to change. The adventure's going to be different. Dungeons, as long as they're plentiful and they don't get too boring, is awesome. So that's why I love tabletop Dungeons and Dragons, because the game master is going to create something different. That dungeon master is going to be like, this isn't like what we played last week, you know. It's like, yes, there could be 10 or more dungeons in a video game, but in your own mind, in the imagination of someone, there's limitless dungeons and adventures to go on. But when you try to do that in a region where it's just you hunting down artifacts and materials and stuff through the same heroic encounters over and over, and it's just that's the part. But when you have a game like, yes, you wouldn't technically replay Baldur's Gate or anything. I mean, I have. It's still fun. But just a good fresh dungeon where you don't know what to expect. You don't know where the traps are. That's what's fun. Yeah, no limits. And technically we have that. Like you looked at Monster Den, something I've never looked at before. So now this would be another outlet for me to go on a dungeon adventure, because I've never been on that adventure. I don't know what to expect in that game. And that's the exciting thing. Like Fallout 76 for me, there is a lot of stuff to do. It is a grind. How many times have I been here at West Tech? This is where I spend all my time. I run around in a circle, I go inside, I kill super mutants. That's about it. If it wasn't for the camp building, I don't think I'd continue to play this game. But see, camp building is different. I'm going to build something different every time. Procedurally generated dungeon. I'm going to go to a different dungeon every time. But the thing is that it's in a game that I love. So I'm getting this new, different adventure every time in the mechanics and the world of a game that I love. That's what I like. That's what's important to me. Is that I want to stay in the same world, but I want to have new experiences in that world. And that's why, depending on what mod it was with Neverwinter, I would be disappointed or not, because it would be the same thing, and the only thing that I'd have is like 1 or 2 weeks of new NPC dialogue that could hold me over, which it didn't, till the next mod that would come out. And that was my biggest problem. Other than that, love the game. Love it. It's still is going to have a place in my heart, that game. I'm going to try it again. I don't know when. I keep wanting to come back to it, but it's just... It seems... I don't know. I guess I don't want to be disappointed. I technically left Neverwinter in a state where I wasn't thoroughly disappointed with it. You know? I don't want to know that I'd be disappointed. Right now, I'm feeling that longing for the game the way I left it the way it was. I don't want to think of it any other way. I've seen bits and pieces of people talk about it, because when you want to know the state of the game, you're going to hear about it. But I don't want to truly know how bad it could be. I just want to remember it the way it was. So this is see, once you get to this level, being a stealth character, it's too easy. I just leap around and kill things. Heck, I like going into big groups in this game, and there's a perk in here called what is it? Watch, it's not even gun. I don't even remember now. What is it? I don't use it much anymore. What is it? Gunfu. Gunfu actually works with melee weapons. So what it is when you're in VATS, your aiming system, or is it Gunfu? Yeah, swaps targets on a kill. So I like finding a good group of people, and in my stealth build, you just spam the melee button because it auto swaps targets, so you can just stabby, 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 and all the corpses just fall. It's so much fun. Your first walkthrough, and the best part was the main campaign. Yes. You exploring new places, story events. You don't care about your equipment a lot. Okay. That kind of falls into like you're not so distracted by the mechanics and the equipment that you can RP and enjoy the story events. Oh. How long have you been playing Neverwinter? If you don't mind me asking. Hello. I wasn't saying hello to you. I was saying hello to him. Oh, I'm overburdened. I'm overburdened. Okay. I can't be overburdened. Oh, I'm getting tired. Okay. Let's see. I need scrapper. There we go. Oh, since 2014. Okay, cool. So, if you're not disappointed in the game, then I probably wouldn't be disappointed in the game. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think... Okay, so you had the gaps. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to get other people's opinion before I play it. Do you think, like, I can always go back to the character that I've been playing with for years, but would you think with the new mechanics the way it is it worth to just start as a fresh rogue? Or should I respec? And I only ask that because although it's just the mechanics of the game will remain the same aside from any new content that I've missed. Is it fresh enough and a big enough learning curve that it would benefit me to start fresh? Not as a filler for content, but just the overall experience. You gave me radworms. How dare you? He walked by me and gave me radworms. That's messed up. Where are you going? What are you shooting at? You don't even know I'm there. This guy throwing a wastebasket at me. Calm down. The new Baldur's Gate, you can throw your shoes at people. I can't wait for that game. It's like, I'm going to shoot a rock off this ledge and it's going to hit the enemy in the head. It does more damage than what I was shot at. Can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome. I don't want to get too hyped up for it, but haven't been disappointed in a Baldur's Gate game. This one looks beautiful. Oh, the graphics are beautiful. Oops, I missed. How did I hit him and not hit my intended target? I love it. And what are those things shooting at over there? A robot? It's the only thing I could think they're shooting them. Oh. You're being weird. 10:47. Got to go soon. Can't stop yawning. Definitely have to go soon. Ooh, a Nuka-Cola Quantum. Yes, please. Give me that. Thank you. Oh, a regular Nuka-Cola. I need that too. I will say this about the game, though. The throwing weapons in Fallout 76 need a huge buff. No one uses them. They're utterly useless. Nothing buffs them. So it's like you can't get a one-hit kill on a substantial enemy. Like maybe a level 1 through 10. But that's it. There's no new mechanic. All simple with main stats. It's static now for classes. All companions just have different with bonuses. Just encounters now open with level. Yes, you can choose a path. Oh, wasn't paying attention. How am I still in danger? That was weird. So it's not new mechanics. Do the rotations really matter though? Features unique for path and they open with level 2. But like, unless you're trying to min-max damage, like from what I heard, it really doesn't matter what path you pick. Like what abilities or whatever they're calling them now. I don't know if they changed the names. But it technically doesn't matter what you pick. You can do endgame with decent gear. Like it doesn't even have to be endgame gear. It's like they've made it so easy it almost doesn't matter what you pick. That's what I've heard. I'm not completely sure on that. Like, and I mean to the point like someone wouldn't have to carry you. Like you could have just a bunch of new plebs in a pickup group with decent gear for that module or close to that module and you'd be fine. That's the thing that worries me, is that it's too easy. How am I? Oh, I am in caution. Well, why did it say it's in danger? That's weird. Ooh, food. I'll take that. I don't see any legend. Oh, sorry to keep yawning. I'm not seeing any legendary enemies. I think I only saw one earlier. No, I'm overburdened. Oh, there he is. I was like, he should be on patrol. Where'd he go? Dang, where are you running? Oh, must be walking upstairs. I thought there was something walking behind me. I don't know how I hit him. Oh, I forgot I'm playing through my streaming preview. That's why my melee attacks are off. I forgot about that latency. Oh, did he pay attention? Woo! Oh, it's a 1-star legendary. Yeah, come here. Ooh, a power mutant super or power fist. They make a lot of noise though. Time to see if it's just the weapon or the build. Because I should be able to one-shot things with this if my build is good. I even get to see how much damage I dealt. Still hidden. Did they leave their patrols? Did I already kill everything? No, I couldn't have. Huh. Well, I know there should be 1 or 2 enemies there, but I don't see them. Okay. Am I still overburdened? Yes, I am. I gotta get rid of that. Well, with Rogue it's a bit different, but all in all you can get a same damage output between 2 paths. And if you get at least caps for module, you can do the dungeon. Okay, I get you. Well, with all these changes to kind of, it seems, I guess, rude to say dumb it down, but with how they did this, did they at least get more people playing? Like, as far as I can assume, that would be their goal, is to make it easier so other newer players would join and wouldn't seem overwhelmed. So I'm hoping that at least accomplish that. Because I know for a while there, depending on where you went, it would be like there was one instance and not even a full one instance of some places that were still even decent farming areas. It was getting bad. It's a damn grind. All that keeps me is dungeons I never run. Well, I guess I would be on the lucky side that I haven't been playing, so I have stuff to catch up on. But see, that was the thing, is like I would go in and I would do my dailies. If I didn't even like doing pickup groups, so like if my buddies were online, or I can't even just say guild because not everyone in the guild would want to do anything, but you have enough people to go do a dungeon and the servers were good, there was no disconnects or anything, then you'd run the same dungeon over and over and over, and usually only run it so that way, like, because when I left, like, I had pretty much top of the line end game gear. I had nothing else to do. Most of the time I was only running dungeons to help other people. Ooh, AWOL armaments. That's a guaranteed legendary. I got 5 minutes left before I end the stream. Give or take how long it takes to do AWOL armaments. But yeah, I really hope it brought in more people. Alright, well, if I'm gonna do this event, I need to switch back to something with a little more power. Because these robots will tear me up if they do detect me. Oh, and I guess another thing I would want to ask was solo play affected? I think when I left, I could solo Fangbreaker Island. Like, I know that's over, like, a lot of people's like, that's overpowered, you shouldn't be able to. Wow, I think my Xbox is going bad. A lot of people would be like, that's overpowered, the game wasn't intended to play that way. Yeah. But that would also tell me, how it affected things. Like, could I still solo Fanebreaker Island? That'll tell me how the difference, like what differences were made. Ooh, a legendary? Oh, 1 star. Why are you getting these 1 stars? That's a bloody combat knife, though. That's not a bad 1 star. I'm sorry, I'll read what you're saying here in a moment. I was about to say, that thing's supposed to blow up. Oh. That's a person. I tried to hurt a person. Kill them all, let God sort them out. Well, if we got another person playing here, I'm gonna have to switch to a gun. Oh, we got 2 other people playing. Oh yeah, I'm not missing out. Let's see, do I even have a gun? Well, hopefully that doesn't kill them too bad. I didn't realize the only gun I had was a 2-shot 50 cal. Island is tough now. I'll read the other part here in a second. Let's see. Some of mod campaigns were interesting, but to move through it is too damn grind. Months for what? 15 min. New unique story mission. Come on. I always did epic dungeons. Because I had heard that, like, even soloing, and if I don't remember the name of this, I am really tired. Wow, I grinded that thing out all the time. That was where I'd done all my testing. What was it? And I even used to be able to quote the game. I'm either really tired or I just haven't played the game in long. What level was that? It was an ice level. I am blah 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 blah. Come my minion. No, what was that? I used to be able to quote so much of that thing. My mind is gone. What was that? They had the two Okay, so now I know I'm tired. Kessel's Retreat. Yes, thank you. I am Akar Kessel. I am the Scourge. Yeah. But I heard that even something like that soloing on... was that epic or was that a skirmish? It's been a while since I played. But I heard even like trying to solo that would have been kind of a... No reward for any risk. Like, it was a little more difficult, but you still got the same crap. And that's one of the things that bothered me, because I loved Kessel's Retreat for testing different types of builds. It had the right amount of ads and everything, and especially solo. It allowed for control so that way you could really test things out. And if they were to mess that up, that's just disappointing. What was it that he said? I am Akar Kessel. I am the Scourge? No. Of Crishal Tirith. I can't remember now. I used to be able to quote everything in that game. I've got one word for you. Leeches. Why is that Major Gutsy all the way down there? Where'd he go? Did I kill him? Someone else kill him? Is that him? What? Okay, I am tired. Yeah, beholders. See? There's you. Hell, even before I quit, there was a beholder convention. I can't remember the name beholders. I think it's a mix. Ooh, what'd I get? Action point refresh. That was the only good thing about it was the action point refresh. Whatever. It's still scrap. I am the master of Crishal Tirith. Yes, yes, yes. But, well, it was definitely fun talking to you. The fact that I don't remember Akar Kessel very well, couldn't even remember what a beholder was, and that I died playing AWOL armaments on Fallout 76 tells me I'm tired. So, but good to know that the audio's good. Just got to work on the video. I just hit 85k of main rates, but I can't go solo in low skirmishes or dungeons. Didn't try though, but it's a waste of time and potions. Oh yeah, I think I heard that potions kind of made a resurgence too. There's so much I got to catch up on the new thing. 85k. Did they change that? I don't even remember what I was at. Oh my god, did I delete Neverwinter to make room for Doom Eternal? I was gonna say I could fire up my Neverwinter real quick and see what I was at. I did. Oh my god, that's like deleting an ex's phone number. Ooh. Like, I didn't even delete Remnant. Oh. I guess I've got enough storage space free I could re-download Neverwinter. Yeah, the next time I will be adjusting the video quality, and for SNGs, I don't think I'll play, but I will look up my character, see like whatever they're calling it now, gear score, item level. I thought maybe I heard they were changing it back or something. See where my character stands on there. Maybe actually play some Doom Eternal and Call of Duty Warzone as I planned. But 2 hours and 11 minutes and the stream was running. Not too bad. Good first run, I think. So yeah, I definitely appreciate you spending some time with me, and maybe I will see you next time. Have a good one. Yeah, just see some YouTube what happened there. I don't know. What I don't know what would be worse, experiencing it for myself or watching just stuff about YouTube. Don't know what would be more cringy. At least I wouldn't drop or throw my controller if I got angry if I just watched it on YouTube. Oh yeah, thank you too. Have a good night. Now, how do I stop the stream? There we go.